Imagine standing in the middle of a roaring, crowded metropolitan street, desperately trying to load an urgent work document, complete a critical mobile transaction, or simply connect with your family, only to watch the digital buffering wheel spin endlessly on your screen. You look at the top corner of your phone, watching your signal bars fluctuate, and you wonder why a country filled with nearly 200 million mobile subscribers is still struggling to keep its basic digital heart beating. We hear grand sweeping promises about a digital revolution, a cashless society, and a high-tech state governance every single day. But what happens when the actual invisible highway in the sky, the raw spectrum under the control of the state, is running completely congested and empty? It leaves the entire country trapped in a digital bottleneck. Today, we are asking a massive question that will permanently dictate the financial future of the country. And the question is that, can 5G genuinely bring an absolute economic revolution to Pakistan? Or are we just buying a flashy, expensive new icon for a deeply underinvested and broken network? But before we deep dive into the high-stakes corporate bidding wars, the hidden ratio frequencies, and the massive $500 million transaction that just shocked the telecom sector, we need to pause and understand that how the digital infrastructure is already quietly attempting to reshape your daily life. Let us look at the baseline of how a state actually attempts to transition away from the chaotic manual paper trails straight into smart, technology-driven public service delivery. For decades, if you lost your wallet, your identity card, your driving license, or your hard-earned academic degrees in Pakistan, you used to face an absolute administrative nightmare. You had to physically travel to a crowded police station, wait for hours in a stressful environment, and hope that an officer would manually write down your complaint in a massive, weathered paper ledger. It was a process designed in the 20th century, completely prone to human error, lack of transparency, and zero real-time accountability. To permanently shatter this archaic bottleneck, the state took a significant modern step forward by launching the Punjab Police Pakistan App. This mobile-based platform was specifically engineered to bypass the physical police station entirely, giving citizens immediate, frictionless access to safety services and also emergency reporting right for their smartphones. Now, the moment you build an open digital system like this, a major operational challenge instantly arises. How do you stop malicious actors from filing completely fake reports, manipulating data, or creating identity fraud across the network? To solve this, the developers executed a massive, highly sophisticated upgrade by integrating the platform directly with the National Database and Registration Authority through Pakistan ID app. This integration establishes an incredibly robust, ironclad access control mechanism. The moment you log in, real-time identity verification becomes completely mandatory for both new and existing users before they can access a single feature. The system instantly cross-references your inputs with the National Identity Database, automatically retrieves your verified name and credentials, and locks them permanently into the system. This completely prevents any manual alteration, ensuring absolute data integrity and authenticity across the board. Building directly upon this verified identity framework, the application completely digitizes the services traditionally managed by the physical facilitation centers. Look at how the lost report module actually functions now. If you lose an essential document like your passport or CNIC, you no longer type a loose, unverified free text essay. Instead, the app forces you to use predefined, validated input fields that standardize the data, drastically minimize errors, and ensure absolute uniformity in state records. The moment you hit submit, the system automatically validates the information, registers the loss instantly into the official police log known as Roznamcha, and generates a digitally authenticated daily diary receipt in real time as a downloadable PDF. But it goes even further than document reporting. The platform incorporates a highly advanced case tracking functionality that allows complainants to monitor the absolute real-time progress of criminal and human resource investigations. You can securely monitor every single update on your case without ever needing to make repeated, exhausting physical visits to a police station. The app even includes specialized safety features, including dedicated modules for the protection of vulnerable groups, rapid women harassment reporting, and animal rescue center to report cases of cruelty. It is a system underpinned by encrypted API communications, audit logs, and sensitive data masking to ensure your personal information remains entirely secure while accessibility skyrockets. This sounds like a highly efficient, flawless digital ecosystem, does it not? It feels like ultimate template for modern state governance. But there is the catch that brings us right back to our central mystery. A sophisticated mobile application, a real-time tracking network, or a nationwide cashless financial system cannot function if the actual digital highway it runs on is completely starved for capacity. It is an absolute technical impossibility. For many years, Pakistan's technological and industrial rise has been severely throttled because the country operated with one of the lowest spectrum allocations in the entire region, sitting at a baseline of just 274 MHz. Think of spectrum as a physical highway in the sky used by telecom towers to transmit wireless signals straight to your smartphone. If you only have 2 narrow lanes on your highway, it does not matter how fast or advanced your car is. The moment millions of users try to get on the road at the exact same time, the entire system grinds to a painful, congested crawl. This is the exact reason why your video calls randomly drop indoors, why your streaming services constantly buffer during peak hours, and why your mobile data dies completely the second you walk into the basement. This is precisely why the entire country's tech sector and telecom industry held their breath on March 10th when the Pakistan Telecommunication Authority finally launched the long-awaited 5G spectrum auction. This event was widely dubbed the single most meaningful and high-stakes spectrum auction of the past decade. When the intense corporate bidding finally concluded, the state successfully sold 480 MHz of raw spectrum, fetching a massive historic investment of $507 million. This single event more than doubled Pakistan's entire available spectrum capacity, instantly jumping it from that regional low of 274 MHz up to a highly competitive 754 MHz. This massive expansion creates the essential technical bandwidth required to permanently reduce network congestion, dramatically enhance data performance, and unlock entirely new opportunities for digital innovation for beyond major urban centers. It is the single most critical milestone that will shape the future of digital Pakistan dream. But what exactly did these telecom giants buy with their millions of dollars, and how does it translate to your daily user experience? To understand this strategy, you have to look at how different radio frequencies actually behave in the physical world. The auction put multiple frequency bands on the table, and they all carry distinct advantages and trade-offs. Lower bands like 700 MHz frequency are long-distance runners of the digital world. They travel incredibly far and pass through solid concrete walls with ease, making them absolutely perfect for providing broad, reliable coverage across the rural landscapes. On the flip side, mid and higher bands like 2600 and 3500 MHz frequencies operate like high-speed bullet trains. They can carry massive, mind-boggling amounts of data at blistering speeds, but their signals have extremely limited coverage areas and struggle to penetrate solid objects, meaning that they require a hyper-dense network of towers to cover a small urban city center. Interestingly, during the auction, the legacy bands of 1800 and 2100 MHz attracted absolutely zero bids, because the telecom operators were entirely focused on capturing the raw power of the next generation 5G frequencies. The three key corporate bidders, Jazz, Zong, and Ufone, entered the arena and competed vigorously for the critical 2600 MHz band. But they did not play the same game. They bought entirely according to their corporate identities and long-term data strategies. Jazz stepped forward and bought the most balanced future, securing a wide mix of spectrum to ensure broad future coverage and indoor performance, making a calculated bet that users outside major city centers should not be left behind. Ufone took a massive aggressive gamble on urban depth, buying up the largest opportunities in the high-frequency bands to position themselves as the fastest, most dominant 5G network for high-density city users. Meanwhile, Zong played a highly selective, performance-driven strategy, focusing their capital on reinforcing their existing bands to ensure their current massive user base gets exceptionally stable, consistent data performance rather than an overextended environmental mix. So, if you're looking for a single corporate winner of this auction, you will not find one. The real question you need to ask yourself as a consumer is simply, which company just brought the exact style of digital future your life requires? But let us pause the corporate excitement for a moment and inject a heavy, necessary dose of realism into this narrative. Because the widespread enthusiasm surrounding this 5G milestone must be carefully tempered by the harsh operational realities currently existing on the ground. Spectrum alone does not magically create a faster user experience or trigger an economic revolution. It is merely raw frequency in the air. For 5G to actually deliver on its revolutionary promise, it requires a massive, incredibly expensive physical infrastructure upgrade across the entire country. It requires telecom companies to build an ultra-dense network of base stations, secure reliable power supplies to fight grid instability, and above all, install a massive web of fiber optic cables deep into the earth. Right now, Pakistan's fiber penetration remains deeply limited, meaning the actual physical backbone required to carry high-speed mobile data is severely underdeveloped. We have a country with over 200 million telecom subscribers and 139 million broadband users. Yet, the entire population remains overwhelmingly reliant on wireless mobile towers rather than actual physical fiber lines running directly into their homes and businesses. If we do not aggressively build out this physical infrastructure, the true benefits of 5G will remain largely theoretical, trapped inside slick corporate marketing campaigns, while your actual connection remains heavily congested. Then, there is the massive, unavoidable hurdle of economic affordability. If the pricing of 5G services and compatible smartphones is not carefully and aggressively managed through supportive state policies, 5G will rapidly become nothing more than an elite, premium luxury service available exclusively to a narrow segment of wealthy users in a few major corporate zones. Instead of closing the digital divide, it will actively widen it, leaving rural and low-income populations even further behind in the productivity, innovation, and global competitiveness. The state must combine this spectrum breakthrough with targeted tax incentives and easier imports for low-cost 5G devices. Otherwise, the true economic potential of this technological leap will be completely lost. This is exactly why the regulatory authorities are placing such heavy emphasis on the strict site development conditions, coverage obligations, and fiber to the site ratios, while completely removing old right-of-the-way charges to accelerate the rollout. Over the next 12 months, your actual digital experience might not even begin with a flashy 5G icon on your screen. It will begin with whether your existing 4G connection suddenly feels less congested, more consistent, and structurally stable. In the final analysis, Pakistan stands at an absolute historic inflection point. The spectrum has been successfully allocated, the investments have been made, and the foundational pieces of digital identity and governance are slowly clicking into place. Transitioning to a true digital economy is no longer an optional cosmetic upgrade or a dream anymore. It is an absolute foundational necessity for economic survival, industrial competitiveness, and sovereign state capacity in a hyper-connected world. The real success of this movement will not be measured by millions of dollars raked in by the state treasury, but by our collective capacity to transform this raw spectrum into a wider digital inclusion, transparent institutional governance, and also genuine widespread economic growth from the bottom up. The digital sandbox is open, the frequencies have been unlocked, and the ultimate race of Pakistan's economic revolution is officially underway in the air all around us.